Today we're going to look at the reactions of acids and bases. Now that we know what acids and bases are, we're going to look at what happens when they react and the products that are formed. When acids and bases react, a neutralization reaction occurs. So the name for the reaction that occurs between an acid and a base is a neutralization reaction. It gets that name because the products that are made are always the same. Acids and bases combine to form water, H2O, and a salt. The way the reactions work are very similar to a double displacement reaction. So if we look at the example here, you can see we start with our acid, HNO3. Again, we can tell that it's an acid because it has that acidic hydrogen or that hydrogen at the beginning of the formula. And we have our base, NaOH. Again, we can tell that it is a base because it ends in that OH or that hydroxide ion. When this acid and base combined, the hydrogen from the acid, which is highlighted in red, and the hydroxide from the base, which is highlighted in red as well, are going to combine to form H2O. Another way to write H2O is this, HOH. Okay, HOH, again, coming from the acidic hydrogen combining with the basic hydroxide. The salt that is produced in this reaction then is, oops, and there's a mistake here, not NaOH, but rather NaNO3. Okay, the salt that is made is NaNO3. So once the hydrogen and the hydroxide have been removed from our acid and base, we are left with sodium and nitrate. So the salt that is forming here is NaNOH. We're going to take a look at it. Okay, here we have an example of an acid, H2SO4, reacting with a base, LiOH. We want to get in the habit of recognizing this reaction and then automatically writing H2O as one of our products, the H2O being the water. Again, the water is coming from the combination of the hydrogen from the acid and the hydroxide from the base. Okay, it will always be H2O. The fact that there is a subscript of 2 here for the hydrogen isn't going to matter. My salt then is going to be what's left over. And we want to remember our rules for writing formulas. So if I were to look, lithium has a charge of +1. Sulfate, SO4, has a charge of -2. So when it combines, I end up with LiSO4, 2. Okay, or Li2SO4 as my salt. The last thing I want to do is make sure that I can balance this equation. Okay, and to balance this equation, I'm going to add a 2 in front of the lithium hydroxide and a 2 in front of the water. That ensures that the number of hydrogens, oxygens, lithium, and sulfates are the same on both sides of the equation. Now you should work on practice 9.3 to continue practicing these types of reactions.